I want you to imagine a scenario where you have developed a simple Python application that runs well in your system, but when you deploy it or share it with a friend, it doesn't run as expected. The causes of this could be a mismatch in environments or missing dependencies. And this is where Docker comes in. Docker allows us to package our applications into simple, lightweight, portable containers that we can easily share or deploy across multiple environments. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how you can Dockerize a simple Scrapy application that scrapes data from an online marketplace. We developed this script in my previous tutorial, so we'll be building on this and Dockerizing into a container. The first step is to make sure you have Docker installed in your system. You can do this by running Docker version. You should print out the version of Docker you have installed. If you don't have Docker installed, head over to their website. They have clear instructions of how you can install Docker on Linux, Mac, or Windows. The next step is to create a script that will run our Scrapy application. So instead of running Scrapy the conventional way, which is Scrapy crawl spider name, we'll be running it from a script. So inside our Scrapy project, so cd jumia, next to the scrapy.cfg file, you're going to create a file named main.py. You're also going to create a file named requirements.txt. So these are the two files. Our main.py file, we are going to import our Scrapy spider. So from Jumia, which is our project, .spiders .scrape Jumia import scrape Jumia spider. The next thing to import is the crawler process. So from scrapy.crawler import crawler process. We also need a way to get our project settings. For that, Scrapy provides a function. So from scrapy.projects .utils .project import get project settings. Then we'll create a function to run our Scrapy crawler. I'm going to name mine run. Instantiate our settings, get project settings, initialize our process, so process is to crawler process. This takes in our settings as a parameter. Instantiate our crawler, so process crawl. This takes in our class, our crawler class, which is scrape Jumia Spider. Then you can start the process. After that, I'm going to write a condition that checks if the function is being run directly or is being imported as a module. For that, you use this condition if name is equals to main execute the run function. So what this function does, it gets the settings of our Scrapy project and executes our crawler. The next step will be to test it to see if it's working correctly, if it will output the data we need, and if everything is configured correctly. So seed into Jumia and run the main.py file. As you can see, it's running. It has extracted the data into our database. We have our JSON data and our logs. So everything seems to be working correctly. I'm going to stop it now and just delete the databases and the logs. So I'm going to delete them. Okay, now to the interesting part, which is creating our Docker container. So in our requirement.txt file, we'll only need one requirement, which is Scrapy. Then we're going to create a Dockerfile, so touch Dockerfile. In our Dockerfile, the first thing you need to do is to specify our base image. So from base image, which will be Python, the version will be 3.10. I'm going to also specify a working directory. This will be USR. Source and app. I'll also copy the requirements.txt file to our working directory. So requirements.txt, we copy it to our working directory. The next step is to install our requirements using pip. So run, our command is pip install requirements.txt. After installing the requirements, we are going to copy the contents of our current directory into the working directory. So copy our current directory to our working directory. After that's done, after you copy the Scrapy projects to our working directory, we can then execute our main.py file. For that, we use the command, which will be Python 3.10 main.py, and that's it. So this is our Docker file, which Docker will use as a blueprint to build our container. So in our terminal, right next to the Docker file, we're going to build our image. So Docker build, tag name of, let's call spider image, specify the current directory. This period is very important. Don't forget to pass it. So this is going to build our image using the Dockerfile. So that's done. Just build our image. Then we can then execute our container. So Docker run, give it a name of, let's say, spider container. Spider container. Specify the image name, spider image. That should execute our container. So as you can see, it's running. So this will execute our container, run our Scrapy script, output the data, and you can get the data from copying the contents of the Docker container to your local PC. So how can you access this data from the Docker container? By that, you run docker cp, specify your container name, spider container, go into the working directory, usr, source, app. Let's say we want to get the products data.json, copy it. So we can access it. You can see that we've successfully copied it into our directory, and we have the data. Yeah, and that's how you Dockerize a Scrapy project. You can use this method to Dockerize any Python application and run it in any environment. This Docker container can be pushed into Docker Hub or deployed as a container in a Linux server. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something new from this video. And if you found this video useful, you can give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe for similar content. Thank you so much for watching.